Welcome to All God's People, your news and inspiration destination site. I'm Connie Vandeman Jeffrey, and I just love the 4th of July. Independence Day, also known as the 4th of July, is a federal holiday in the United States commemorating the adoption of the Declaration of Independence 241 years ago on July 4, 1776. The Continental Congress declared that the 13 American colonies regarded themselves as a new nation, the United States of America, and were no longer part of the British Empire. And my, how we've grown. On September 9, 1850, California was admitted to the Union as part of the Compromise of 1850 as a free state after being ceded to the United States by Mexico at the end of the Mexican-American War. California became the 31st state. Nevada became the 36th state on October 31, 1864, and is defined by its great expanses of desert and for its largest city, Las Vegas. The territory of Utah was an organized, incorporated territory of the United States that existed from 1850 until January 4, 1896, when the final extent of the territory was admitted to the Union as the state of Utah, becoming the 45th state. Arizona, perhaps best known for the Grand Canyon, became our 48th state on February 14, 1912. And Hawaii, the beautiful volcanic archipelago in the Central Pacific, became our nation's 50th state on August 21, 1959. These 5 amazing states make up our Pacific Union Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, with more than 226,000 members and 806 Seventh-day Adventist churches. We're so proud of our Western home. Our 5 states are home to nearly 54 million people. That's a big mission field. And in those best places to live surveys that you find in magazines, more than 25% of the cities named are right here in the West. The Pacific Union is a great place to call home. And in our communities, on our beaches, in our parks and neighborhoods, the 4th of July will be well celebrated. Like the rest of the country, we'll have fireworks, parades, barbecues, fairs, picnics, concerts, baseball games, family reunions, and political speeches and ceremonies. But we'll also have luau's and piñatas and pool parties. From the deserts to the mountains to the oceans, the West will be alive with all kinds of civic events and private gatherings to celebrate the history of the United States. In churches across the Pacific Union, as we celebrate our freedoms, let us be particularly aware of the freedom of religion, the fundamental right of every person to worship God in their own way, and for believers to gather, pray, teach, and worship without fear of persecution. Our Constitution guarantees it, and it's part of what makes our Independence Day so wonderful. I don't know about you, but I'll be watching fireworks next Tuesday night, waving my flag, and eating my share of Big Franks and other great picnic food. And I'll be saying a prayer of thanks for this great nation and our home right here in the West. And now here's Elder Ricardo Graham with a special 4th of July message just for you.
On June 7, 1776, Richard Henry Lee of Virginia stood up in the Continental Congress in Philadelphia and called for the independence of the American colonies. A small committee led by Thomas Jefferson was established to lay out their case for independence before the world. On July 1st, the Congress reconvened, and after a couple of days of debate and discussion and 86 revisions, on July 4, when the Continental Congress met, the Declaration of Independence was adopted. These words immortalized the birth of the United States of America. Let me read them to you. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall most likely to affect their safety and happiness. This was signed immediately by John Hancock and then the entire Congress on August 2, documenting the birth of the United States of America. That was 241 years ago, and we've been celebrating ever since. Perhaps you can recall many of the celebrations you've been to: picnics, marches, listening to bands play our patriotic songs in the park, whatever, eating hot dogs, potato chips, and having a great time celebrating independence. But there's a greater independence that we've been given. We recognize as Christians it has not been legislated or by proclamation proclaimed by Jesus, but it was created by his bloody confirmation on Golgotha's cross when he died to set us free. We're free from the power of sin. We're free from the suggestions of Satan. We're free from our habits. We're free from the superstitions that plague our society. We've been made free indeed by the blood of Jesus. And so as you celebrate the 4th of July, remember also that Jesus gives us everyday freedom as Christians who live by his power in his name. Have a wonderful 4th of July.